Hello, my beautiful people. How are you doing today? I'm Mari-Antoine, and I'm so happy to be with you today. Sorry if I seem a little low energy, if I seem a little tired. It is 10:26 on a Thursday night, and I've been having classes. School is back in session, and life is moving fast right now. But I still wanted to sit down, film a little video, talk to y'all, and first and foremost, shout out to my 7 followers. That was 7 kisses for my 7 followers. Shout out to y'all. So the topic of this video is going to be the least interesting thing about me, okay? And you might be wondering, like, mari-Antoine, what do you mean the least interesting thing about you? You're just so captivating. You're so interesting, so invigorating. I know. I know. No, but genuinely, when we get down to it, the least interesting thing about me is my beauty. One of the biggest draws for us all to the wish of attaining beauty is often that, when you're beautiful, you're told that you get all these amazing things in life, all these opportunities, you get free opportunities, yada, yada, yada. But really, because of the shifts of beauty standards and how easy it is to fall in and out of them, all of those things that you gain from that is just as quick and as easy to be lost. So if you place so much importance on that as an aspect of who you are and how you view yourself and how you move through the world and how you're able to attain everything that you have, it's really only to your detriment. As a young woman, I feel like I'm talking to all the young women out there who might be hearing me. A lot of the time, you place a lot of importance on your physical appearance for the self-worth that you get. As a child, I literally had like a deep-rooted fear about this for the future. I was a bit of an ugly duckling, I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm so scrawny, my teeth are weird, this and that, picking out all my little insecurities. At a certain point, I think I just gave up trying. I was wearing whatever I wanted. I was acting however I wanted because I was like, well, if I already feel that ugly and like nothing's gonna change about that, I didn't even try to change my appearance. I was just like, well, I'm just gonna do what I want. So that's what I did at that point. I just did what I want. I wore what I want, talked what I want, and then eventually there were even fears that I had. I was like, oh, I remember this so distinctly too. This specific memory of a woman dropping off her kid at school, and she had like short hair and she was really muscular, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so different than like the women that I see in my life from that I see as beautiful. On the screen they have all those thin women that are like flowing hair and just teeny tiny things prancing around from here and there, and I saw her and I was like, I'm so scared. Like, I'm scared. And eventually, when I grew up, when I turned 18, I cut off all my hair. And a couple months later, I started going to the gym and stuff. And I really became the antithesis of what I thought beauty was. And at that moment, I feel like it really clicked to me that I felt beautiful in that moment. And I will add that at this point in my life, I was truly not conventionally attractive. I was beautiful to myself. I was bald, overweight, I had acne flare-ups, but I truly saw myself as beautiful. And I think finding yourself beautiful at moments where the world doesn't find you beautiful is truly just so much more satisfying. Yes, that was a peak point of existence, I feel like, where I was just vibing with myself, and I love that a lot. I feel like there's, the decentering of beauty in your life where that will suddenly become like, oh, it doesn't really matter. So whatever I look like, it's not going to determine how I see myself. And growing into that was just a point where I realized that life, is more than your physical beauty. And then at that point, I think somehow, ironically, people started calling me beautiful and thinking that I was beautiful. But I'm truly in the headspace that, like, I don't, like, I feel like, especially living in America, I'm always talking about blah, blah, blah. But I mean, let's be real. When you live in, like, a Western country where the beauty standards are, like, tall, thin, blonde, etc., if you don't fall into those lines, a lot of the times you won't even feel conventionally attractive, even if, in some ways, some people might find you, unattractive of some kind of person type archetype. You know what I mean? So once you find out that you really shouldn't compare yourself to beauty standards, especially because they change so much. Even living 10 years will tell you that, 20 years will show you that, 60, I can't imagine, like, if I get to the age of being like 80 and seeing all the shifts and change of beauty standards and growing older, and of course growing older is also a thing that I feel like is very like it's kind of violent for women, because it's like you come to terms with the fact that, like, there's new versions of beauty and younger versions of beauty. And of course there's that study that came out of that graph where it's like, oh, at a certain age, like, men will keep finding the same age range attractive, whereas women, as they grow older, their attraction grows, as well. And it's like, you have to deal with these things, and understanding that you are more than your physical appearance is so important. So as I said, your beauty should be the least interesting thing about you. And if suddenly you become strikingly beautiful, model-esque, you gotta find other things to be able to combat that, okay? So let me break down the idea of the stupid skills, okay? Stupid skills are things that you're good at that, honestly, to an average person, maybe it might not matter. Of course, there is the ability to build real, tangible skills. You're gonna get better at reading, at writing, at playing piano, whatever. But the ability to just literally have stupid skills that don't really contribute much to anything. Like, one of my stupid skills is playing solitaire. I am a master at solitaire, okay? I can do the draw one solitaire matches in like under 2 minutes, comfortably. I got a bit of a record on that way, okay? And that's a stupid skill. Like, what am I gonna do with that? Nothing. But I enjoy it, and I like to have that skill, and I feel like it's something cool about me that has nothing to do with, my appearance. And, like, even if, I lose whatever, you never know where your life's gonna take you, but I'll always have that. You know what another stupid skill of mine is? Freaking word searches. Something about word searches, too. I've been doing this word search. I finished one of my big books of word searches, and I was, pretty good at them. Now that I'm doing this one, I'm on number 11 right now. Why is it so difficult? Something about the letters, sizes changes how quickly I can do a word search. So that's just weird and a little disrespectful. So I'm gonna keep doing this until I get good at it. And I have 500 puzzles to give me the opportunity to get good at it for. So, okay, so I'm gonna do that. But other than that, I think also having the ability to, kind of like I was saying, where I wasn't so restricted by the ideas of beauty, of, who I should be, reinventing yourself every day. And I'm gonna have another video about this specifically because I just feel like this is such like a cool idea. But you should not constrain yourself to any rules that, as long as you're not hurting anyone or hurting yourself or, going against your morals, you should give yourself the freedom to explore every aspect of yourself. Pardon the bells on the back. That is my cat scratching himself. But, yes. So as I was saying, if you have a problem with athleisure, maybe try out just wearing it one day. See how it feels. You'll find out it's comfortable. I used to be staunchly against athleisure, bro. I was like, you'll never catch me dead in athleisure. I see all these people in these yoga pants. Bro, put on some yoga pants and a crop top one day and go running or go walking or just vibe. It's so comfortable. It's such a lifestyle shift. It's so fantastic. Why not? You'll understand it. You'll understand it. And something even as simple as cutting your hair as a young woman, bro, I feel like it's so empowering because you'll kind of fall out of, what some people deem as beautiful. But at the same time, too, you'll grow closer to yourself, learn that you're not so tied to your hair because, a lot of women have this idea of, oh, long hair, look at my hang time, da da da. I'm saying all this while I do have all this hang time. So, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. And as a final concluding point, I'd also like to say that I definitely don't restrict myself in things that I value and care about. So later in life, this might completely change. I give myself the grace to be able to know that I am a changing individual who has changing values, but I also understand that this is my viewpoint at this current state of my 21-year-old body, and giving myself the grace to be able to change how I want to think or how I view the world is also part of growing up. And you never stop growing up until you're dead. So, yeah. But also understand that, you don't have to be like, oh, because I don't care about beauty, I won't spend time on myself. I think a big thing, too, is just looking like you love yourself. Whatever that is for you. What does loving yourself look like? If it looks like dressing up a little extra a couple days of the week, then yeah, do that. If it looks like just wearing something casual because you're returning to yourself and you don't really want to think about your outfits, do that. If it looks like matching sets, do that. What does loving yourself look like? Taking care of yourself, of your own heart, is more important than any idea that the world wants to place upon you. I sound like I'm preaching, but I'm preaching to myself. Okay, understand that. I am still working through these things. I think us all as a human body, we all, are working towards trying to get to a point where we feel comfortable in this world with ourselves and with others. But once you get to a point where you feel more comfortable in yourself, it'll be easier for you to be comfortable in any spaces that you enter. That's all I have for today, though. Thank you so much if you listen to the end of this video. Okay, besitos to you if you did. Thank you so much, and I hope you have an amazing day, evening, night, or wherever you are watching this from. All right, have a nice one.